Most people wait until they have the perfect plan, until it all makes sense. For better or worse, that's not what I did. I was 21 years old, a bike messenger in San Francisco, when it hit me. People could make things for a living. That basic realization completely changed my reality. It was like someone handed me a new lens to see the whole world through. I didn't even know what I wanted to make. I just knew that I needed to create, and that simple truth gave me something that I'd never had before: direction. And from that moment forward, I finally had a North Star. Every decision, every roadblock, every opportunity, I could ask myself, is this choice taking me closer to that direction, or is it actually pushing me further away? It was better than a map. It was a compass, which allowed the path to be what it is while keeping me on the right track. So what did I do? I started experimenting. Photography, painting, making clothing, anything I was curious about, I tried it. Most of it was crappy, none of it was perfect, but that wasn't the point. The point was to do, to try, to just make things. And eventually, one of these projects actually started to work out. A project called Cadence, a small lifestyle cycling apparel company. And interestingly, it combined a lot of the elements I was experimenting with anyways. Design, photography, functionality, and storytelling. And it slowly started to shift. So I shifted with it. I left my full-time job as a bike messenger and took a part-time job at a cafe, which was less pay, but it did allow me more time to focus on my project. And the key was to treat that work like it was a job, well before it actually paid like one. The reason I did this was because that's what I wanted it to become. Shipping, production, customer service. Each of these was a brick on the path in the direction of my North Star. Let it be known, you do not need permission. You just need to believe that starting matters. A lot of people are sitting around waiting for somebody to tell them that they're ready to begin. But nobody's coming. So I just kind of gave myself permission. And I wasn't concerned with messing up. In fact, I wasn't even thinking in terms of failure. My mindset was more, do I enjoy this? Does this feel like the right direction? And if it was, I went that direction. Perfectionism is a trap. Remember this, done is better than perfect. We all start unsure and messy. The only surefire way to improve is to just keep going. A breakthrough for me was setting consistent deadlines. Repeat the process, and through consistency over time, we will improve. This place. Several years later, my wife introduced me to something that helped me understand what I'd been following all along. It was a simple values exercise. And if you want access to it, sign up to my email list and I'll send it to you. It's completely free, there's instructions, highly suggested. What this did was help clarify what my North Star was. It helped put words to this thing that I was already working towards. Yeah, this was big, and I see these every day. In fact, why don't I just, here, I'll show you. Oh, now it's sunny? These help me realize my deepest values. Creative expression, passion, independence. They were all a part of a path that I was already on. And every decision is intentional. Does it align with the values? If yes, you know it's the right decision. I personally love talking about this subject. If you'd like to hear more on this type of stuff, let me know what you're interested in down below. All right, full transparency. It's not always smooth sailing. And like a ride, some paths just turn into dwindle track. Other times it feels like nothing's working. And that's when I have to zoom out and remind myself it's not about today's failure. The trick is to remind myself to think big picture. Overall, where am I heading? To be totally honest, it'll probably take me 5, 10, 15 years to get to where I want to be. But that time is gonna happen either way. I'd rather spend those years working towards something that actually matters, rather than just sitting around and thinking about doing it someday. The work becomes the purpose. The routine becomes the reward. Even serving coffee and washing dishes felt meaningful when it was helping me get closer to the life that I actually wanted. And years after that moment in San Francisco, something else happened. My buddy Chris showed me some YouTube videos for the first time, and it clicked. It had everything: creative freedom, storytelling, autonomy. I was hooked. It aligned with nearly everything on my values list. So without hesitation or expectation, I just dove right in. I had no idea what the hell I was doing, and that was kind of part of the fun.
So why don't you introduce what we're doing, and then
I just knew it was the right direction, and trusting that is all I've ever needed. And that's still what I do to this day, week after week, video after video. And because of these tools, I'm gratefully living this experience that I envisioned so many years ago. Truly grateful, truly amazing. And if YouTube disappeared tomorrow, I would be bummed, but I know that it would be fine. Because it isn't about the platform, the job title, or even the medium for that matter. It's about the purpose and the passion. And simply put, we don't need a perfect plan. We just need a direction that feels right. And that's what I call our North Star, our internal compass. And once we find that, everything else falls into place. And to get a better idea of what one of these elements looks like in practice, you'll have to watch this video, where I go over one of the elements that is extremely important to me and my practice. It's studio spaces. It is, it's a big one.